Ladies and gentlemen, man, Steelers Nation, the Steelers close out the regular season Week 18 with a dub. They finished the season 10-7, 5-1 against the division. They sweep the Baltimore Ravens this year, and they win 17-10 in a crazy game between the Steelers and Ravens with major playoff implications for the Steelers. Most importantly, they needed a win today to help their chances tomorrow. A loss wouldn't have ended the season, but it would have asked for more tomorrow. Now we're still going to have to ask for a favor from the Titans or the Dolphins. The Dolphins. Thank you. We're going to have to ask a favor from the Titans and Dolphins tomorrow. But a win, man, that's all they needed to do. That's all we cared about today was just come into Baltimore and get a dub. It wasn't incredibly pretty. It was very typical Steelers-Ravens football. Sloppy, defensive, gritty.
Physical.
The weather was rough. I mean, these two teams, man, just kept giving the ball away. 2 turnovers forced by each defense. Most of that definitely had an effect with the weather. It just messed with everyone's grip and messed up with everyone's control of the football. And these two teams, man, they tried whatever they could to take advantage. But, of course, the Steelers took advantage of Eric Rowe forcing a fumble on Gus Edwards towards the end of the game to close it out, to get the field goal to help seal this game and give us a nice cushion to win this football game, man.
And props to Eric Rowe, man, having to be elevated from the practice squad for a couple games. The last 3 games, actually, because of the injuries from Trent Thompson and Minka Fitzpatrick. They couldn't play. Eric Rowe being elevated, man, what a stud he's been, having to step in.
Yeah, he's been good. I can't tell you last time he played a football game, but ever since coming in, he's been good. He's got an interception. He's been everywhere where the football has been, and today he made the biggest defensive play of the game. And boy, did we need that. In that field position, you can thank Eric Rowe a lot for us clinching a victory today. So shout out to Eric Rowe. Shout out to TJ Watt for 2 sacks today, making his season finish 19 sacks, which should be the league lead by the end of tomorrow, which already confirms, it already was, but definitely puts the cherry on top that he should win Defensive Player of the Year. There's no one close.
No, nobody can touch TJ Watt. I'm sorry.
Dude, it sucks that he went out in the third quarter, man. It was a scare. It was an ankle injury.
And it still is. It still is.
Because, hey, we could make the playoffs. And our best player, our best defensive player, literally our team is hurt. It sucks. The injury bug just always hurts us in any fashion, in any situation.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Watt sustained a knee injury when he collided with Montravius Adams. He was trying to deflect a pass thrown by Tyler Huntley, and his knee collided with Montravius Adams, and it didn't look pretty.
No,
and you could see immediately he was in intense agony and pounding his fist on the turf.
Yeah, dude, it was scary to watch. It drained a lot of the energy, a lot of the good feeling. Watt is a massive part to this team, as you guys know. Without him, man, I don't like any of our chances with anything.
No.
So now, thankfully, when he went out, Marcus Golden and them were able to step up in the pass rush and help clinch this game for sure. But if we make the playoffs, man, Watt is now hurt. That sucks. Mm-hmm. And this is a guy that obviously wants to get a playoff spot, is pushing for a playoff berth, and has yet to even get a playoff victory.
Yeah, in his already Hall of Fame resume, career.
Exactly, man. So it sucks to see him hurt. Hopefully his injury condition is okay, and we'll get some updates, I would imagine, tonight, tomorrow, whenever, as soon as possible, hopefully. But
yes, seriously, fingers crossed that TJ Watt is all right. Yes. I mean, the edge depth that we have is very good. Golden came up big with a sack toward the end of the game. Nick Herbig, I mean, he's a stud in limited reps. He needs
more playing time.
But listen, TJ Watt is TJ Watt at the end of the day.
No one else is TJ Watt. So hopefully TJ Watt's good to go. But outside of that on defense, I mean, nothing crazy really much happened. They were able to slow down the run game as much as they could. They allowed only 10 points, only 1 touchdown to Isaiah Likely. Some of the tackling was very rough in the secondary for sure, especially with the linebackers as well. But I guess when you have a lot of depth pieces playing, that's kind of what you would expect. More so practice squad bodies. But the defense, man, only allowing 10 points, that's good enough to obviously help us get 17. And, you know, the defense made the play to help kind of clinch this game. So good job on the defense for that. Obviously, we got to give props to Rowe and Watt. But the offense, man, massive props to Deontay. 71-yard receiving touchdown, what felt like his longest touchdown of his career.
Yeah.
His 5th of the season. And it got us the lead to start the fourth quarter, man. The game was tied heading into the fourth. And that play, man, that play design, that throw by Mason and Deontay just raced all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, an absolute dot throw by Mason. A picture-perfect throw to Deontay, and Deontay just did the rest.
Yeah, it was a great play design using Muth to fake out the safety, and Mason, man, just needle threader through the defenders. And like we said, Deontay did the rest.
Yeah.
Beautiful play design to open the fourth quarter. Just what you like to see from the offense. Shout out to Mason Rudolph, dude. Ever since Mason Rudolph has stepped in as Steelers quarterback, he is now 3-0
And
this season.
he didn't make one mistake with the football.
Not one turnover.
Not one turnover from Mason Rudolph himself in the 3 starts. Not one.
Not only is he not forcing turnovers, not only is he being safe with the football, he is getting us points on the board. Now, today he got 17, which is technically the Steelers' limit. That's the Steelers' ceiling, 17 points. But you also expect, against the Ravens in this type of weather, it would be a low-scoring game. Steelers-Ravens rivalry, what do you expect?
You're not going to be seeing the ball being slung left and right, high scoring.
No.
It's always defensive.
It's going to be a ground and pound sort of game when it comes to this weather and this rivalry. But you notice that Mason is being protected of the ball. He's hitting his marks. He's being composed in the pocket with his presence, dude. And he's just making the plays necessary. He's doing everything right. And what we saw last 2 weeks, he can absolutely get points on the board for us. He's just leading this offense to good success, especially when it comes to the ground game, dude. The opposing defenses fear Mason's deep throw ability. They fear his arm. They fear his gunslinger aspect of his game. They fear that, which is why it opens the rushing game a lot. It really does. And Najee, man, back-to-back 100-yard games for him. Each of them he scored a touchdown. I mean, now he officially gets 1,000 yards on the season. We were looking a couple weeks ago, is he going to get 1,000? He had 1,000 his first 2 years, and now with this game, man, he clinches 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons, which is the first Steeler to do that in his first 3 years. It's impressive. And he's splitting carries with Warren all year.
Yeah. Like Najee's, he gets a lot of, criticism thrown his way, and, sometimes it's
justified.
It is.
And listen, it's not really Najee, the player. It's more so the fact the Steelers selected him over certain positions, and to this day, it's still hurting us because our offensive line still sucks. But our center still sucks. Our tackle, left tackle, still sucks.
But we know Najee's a productive running back. He's a good running back. He's a hard runner, and he's just an overall productive player.
I agree. And in these last 2 weeks, he's just playing with something to prove. Like, he wants this. He wants a playoff spot.
Yeah.
He's playing angry. He's running angry. Even when Warren himself didn't have that great of a game. In fact, his last two touches he had towards the end of the game, he lost grip of the football. One of them was a fumble. Yeah. Thankfully, we recovered, but, he was having fumbling issues. And most of that has to do with the weather. But, even when Warren's having an off day, Najee just performs phenomenally.
He's just coming up big.
26 carries, 112 yards, and a touchdown. What a game. Very, very similar to last week. It's what you love to see. It's incredible, man. So shout out to Naji Harris. Shout out to Deontay. Shout out to Najee. Shout out to Rudolph. Those are the 3 biggest playmakers for the offense today, man. They made the biggest plays. They did it when it mattered the most, and they were able to get us the points on the board. So shout out to them, man. But who would have thought? Who would have thought? Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
3 straight starts, 3 straight victories. You knew he would bring a certain spark to the offense, but he literally... Now, this might be the end of our season. This might be the last game we see. This might be the last bit of Steelers football till August, but he still is giving us an opportunity to make the playoffs. He is saving our season. He saved Mike Tomlin from a non-loser from his first losing season. And I have to give Tomlin praise. We've been very critical of Tomlin, rightfully so. And I still argue that change is necessary in that position.
Yeah.
But his 10th 10-win season, and he made the proper quarterback change when he needed to. And you can just tell, man, when Mason's in there, he has this sense of aggression. Like Mike Tomlin is really stepping his game up when he needed to. And we have to give Tomlin credit for that. And he's still pushing this team for a playoff berth. We could arguably be in it. We should be in it. Imagine if he put Mason in prior to his start versus the Bengals.
Yeah.
Imagine that. We probably would have already clinched a playoff spot. Think about it. Instead of having to ask for the Titans or the Dolphins to get a victory tomorrow. But he needed to make the change when he had to. He did. Mason has been playing very good, protecting the ball, getting us points on the board, winning us football games, and thanks to Mike Tomlin for doing that.
Now, big props to Mike Tomlin.
He finally somewhere found trust in his third-string quarterback that hasn't played in a year and a half, almost 2 full years. And look what he has done for us. And I'm going to say it right now. You guys can disagree. Mason, if we make the playoffs, is your fucking starter.
No question about it.
You do not start Kenny. There's reports from Ian Rappaport earlier this morning that the Steelers are confident that they're not going to move away from Kenny, that they're still confident he's going to be the starter. They see a lot in him. That Ian Rappaport pretty much confirmed that Kenny will be the starter next year. You can expect the exact same thing this year for next year.
No, but if we still somehow manage to make the postseason, you got to go with the hot hand. That's Rudolph.
You do not sit Mason. I don't think Tomlin will. Because Tomlin said it.
He didn't sit him before the Ravens game.
No, he said it.
Because Kenny was healthy in this game. He was the backup to Mason.
Yes.
He was ready to go. So if Kenny is the supposed franchise quarterback of the Steelers, Tomlin would have gone with Kenny for this game. Thankfully, he didn't. He went with the hot hand and Mason Rudolph, and it showed why he did.
Yeah.
Again, why he did.
And if we somehow make the playoffs with help tomorrow, Mason should be the starter. Shout out to Mason Rudolph for a strong finish to a wild 2023 Steelers season, man.
And I'm happy to see Mason be given this opportunity to rebound, because, he was looking at other options like retail work or something.
Was he?
Yeah, he was considering retirement because, he lost confidence and hoped that, he was not going to get another opportunity with another team in the NFL.
Somehow, Tomlin found the confidence to play him. The fan base is all behind Mason now. They have all found the confidence to trust and appreciate Mason. If you haven't already, you need to apologize to Mason Rudolph. Seriously, you do. We should all be appreciative of Mason Rudolph.
And Rudolph got this newfound hope to play, this newfound hope of confidence back. He gained his confidence back, and you were able to see that in the past 3 games he started, and just how he was. Yeah. In the pocket, behind his offensive line, slinging the ball, just doing what he was able to do.
Doing what he is good at.
A man that had nothing to lose, stepping in. And he shined. Big props, big shout out to Mason Rudolph. I'm happy for the guy.
I'm very happy
for
story.
The guy.
And
what a story.
The reason we bring it up is because he's led us to 3 straight victories. He keeps us alive for the playoffs. He should start if we make the playoffs. But at the end of the day, man, this might be the last game of the season. This might be the last of Steelers football up until August. And if that is truly the case, Mason should still get an opportunity to start next year. Yeah. If they're going to stick with Kenny like Rappaport has been reporting this morning, then Mason, no doubt, should be part of that competition. There should be a competition. I don't think it's a competition. Look what happened the last 3 weeks, bro. That kind of already shows you what we have at the quarterback position, who the true QB1 is. It's going to flat out and say it. You guys can argue, you guys can disagree, but I think these 3 games are very evident for Mason Rudolph and for the quarterback position. So shout out to Mason Rudolph. Shout out to the offense. Shout out to the ground game. And shout out to Deontay for making the play happen, man. Shout out to a lot of factors today, and I will give credit to Mike Tomlin. Now, we just have to hope and pray and fingers crossed that the Titans can get a win tomorrow versus the Jags. And if that can't happen, it'll literally come down to the last game of the regular season Sunday night where we're going to need the Dolphins to beat the Bills. So it's either... the Bills have a lot to lose. If the Bills lose, they're out.
Yeah.
The Bills have everything to lose right now.
So is it?
And so do the Jags.
So is it going to be thank you Titans, or is it once again going to be thank you Miami?
Or could it be none of it? This might be the end of the season, man. If it is, man, what a wild season and what a strong finish. All led by Mike Tomlin and Mason Rudolph and our ground game, bro. Got to give credit to those guys. Got to give a newfound appreciation to them. So shout out to those guys, bro. Seriously. But at the end of the day, let's just hope we can get into the playoffs, and we'll see what we can do if we somehow enter January football, if we enter the postseason. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting watch. We're all going to be sitting on the edge of our televisions tomorrow, hoping and praying these teams can get us in. But if this is the end, man, it's a wild season. It's a very wild season. It really is. And what a finish. I will say that.
A way to rebound after the Colts game.
Yeah.
What, the games before that.
You think? Well,
it wasn't looking bright.
Because think about it. Kenny went down in the Cardinals game and never came back in this season. Mitch came in, first the Cardinals.
Stuck up the joint.
First the the
Patriots. Stuck up the joint.
And then versus the Colts.
Stuck up the joint.
3 straight losses by Mitch Trubisky. And now Mason came in and has won us our last 3 games. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
What a way to rebound. Got to give him props. Got to give him credit.
Absolutely. Let us know your guys' thoughts down below. How you guys feel about this season? Do you think the season's over? Do you think we make the playoffs? Let us know your guys' thoughts down below, man. Otherwise, what a season, and let's hope it's not over. Let's hope it's not over yet. Let's get one more game in there. At the end of the day, here we go, Steelers.
As always.
And let's pray for the Titans or Dolphins. Fingers crossed, for the love of God. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be interesting.
And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace!